Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Behind the Corner, where I pretty much take you behind the scenes and talk about all sorts of different things pertaining to running Bauer's Game Corner. And right now we're going to be talking about my March 2021 recap, going over what was actually a really spectacular month for me. And right now we have everything sorted. This is March 1st through 31st, and as you can see, this was my most popular month of the last 12 months. And it's not even really that close, which is really due to one major video, which I'll talk about, which was a little bit of a controversy. It was a little bit of a weird one. And actually, it made me completely change how I do something at Bauer's Game Corner, but I'll talk more about that later. But right now, 59,000 views, and it beat the Christmas rush of 45,000. It beat January, so I'm very proud of that month. Gained a huge chunk of subscribers as well, 153, and we're going to go more in depth on a lot of this stuff. Right now I'm just showing you the big numbers here, but 153, and as you can see, I really started putting the pedal to the metal right around here, and I'm starting to notice those differences, and that's spectacular. And if you enjoy this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, as I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers, celebrate my 9-year anniversary of making YouTube content. But very excited about that. And then the revenue as well, which did not quite eclipse the Christmas money, but still, just for a seemingly regular month, when you figure March 2020, which was like the beginning of the pandemic when things really started to get bad, I only made $100, and this month I made $218. That's great. That's spectacular, and that's growth that I love to see, because that's really what I'm trying to do now. So let's take a look more in depth at what really were the stars of the shows here, and then we'll go more, but these were my top 10 videos from this month. So the first one, we have the Game of Life Trouble Game Mashup, an unboxing video, which it just blows my mind that these are so popular sometimes, but an unboxing video for the Game of Life Trouble Smash Up, and we'll take a look at just the last month. So let's look at how it does in 1 month's time period. So let's go to the last 28 days. That's close enough. It's gained me 2 subscribers, 536 views, and $2.40, which, that's spectacular, because that was actually part of an experiment where I said, I'm going to go to Target, and I'm going to buy all these new games that don't have any coverage on them, and I'm just going to unbox them and play them and make and look at that. 8 subscribers from that one video right there, $9.39, and all of a sudden, hobby gaming, tabletop gaming, like our gaming, is creeping a little bit more into the seams of these 9 people's lives, these 8 people's lives, potentially. And I love seeing that sort of thing. That's really cool. So then we have the Robinson Crusoe Game Frown Critique. And why are you here, $218? I'm proud of you, but go away. Go away, $218. So the Robinson Crusoe Game Found one right here. Yeah, so this one, very popular for whatever reason, 602 views, awesome, and that segment, I gotta tell you see a lot of that segment, that's because that segment's really going like gangbusters, and the more I promote that segment, the better it does, I've noticed. So 1 new subscriber from that, 420 views, and $2.49, awesome, and I'm not going to go into depth on all of them. So Tiny Epic Dungeons, once again, same thing. Clue Suspect card game, because here's the thing, last year at this time, because around the September period, so I'm going to be brutally honest here, I went through a big funk for a good year of 2020. You know, I had to quit my job, I was homeschooling my kids, I was really losing my temper a lot more, and I cleaned my house. I completely cleaned my house, top to bottom. I spent months and months cleaning my house, and then I turned my focus to Bauer's Game Corner, and that's why you start to see so many big changes and big shifts, and me trying to transition to more things, like, for instance, electronics, which I'll talk about in a second. But this segment right here, this would normally be my number 1. 873 for the month, and there would be a bunch of other mass market crap in the top 10 right now. So the fact that it's not all that stuff gets me super excited, but still knowing that, like, if we went down to like 15 through 50, it would be a lot of mass market stuff like LCR and Monopoly Junior How to Play and stuff like that. But still, that's the kind of stuff that's like allowing me to explore more creatively, which I love. So this one right here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So Stellaris Infinite Legacy Kickstarter Preview. I did one. This one was even worse than that one. I'll talk more about that one. But then they give me all this art, and they say, hey, can you put this new art into your video? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because it makes my video look better. It really did. Because they gave me a whole bunch of good stuff. But they didn't. There was essentially so much confusion on that first day of that Kickstarter that this one had to go live, even though it was the old video. And I was like, no, put up the new video. And it still got 1,600 views, which is great. But whatevs. Neil Patrick Harris, which once again was part of the experiment that I ran, where I just bought the mass market, the new mass market Target games, and this one just absolutely exploded on me right here. Because let's take a look. So let's just look for the last month. So you can see, since I got it, it's been 8.4 thousand views and 21 subscribers. Spec-freaking-tacular. $47, which means I think this was a $50 game. I made back my money on this game right there in just this time period, plus 21 subscribers. And so, yes, this right here is reaffirming to me, wow, you really need to be keeping your eye on those Target and Walmart schedules, because this is big. This is big. This is me sitting down for like 2 hours and just playing a game. And it gave me 21 subscribers, got my money back. That's great. Like, those are the sort of things that I need to pay attention to. And then here we go. This is where things get kind of interesting, because we have another video game. And it feels like I'm doing a big video game each month on Kickstarter. And for whatever reason, in this particular one, I know I angered their fans. Like, the really, really die-hard people just were, like, kind of upset with my video, because I'm very blunt in these, but that's 8 subscribers right there. That is 8 subscribers who subscribe to my channel for no board games whatsoever. But now they're having their toes dipped in the board game water. Maybe they start clicking on those videos, and I love seeing that. So let's see how this one. So I posted this February 15th. So I'm very interested to know how this was doing in March, because I'm pretty sure the Kickstarter was over. And yeah, you can see right when the Kickstarter ends, and then just boom. But still, look at this, 21 views in a day. Like, that's not nothing. That's a nice little trickle. $1.84. That's spectacular. I'm happy. If every Kickstarter critique I did got me, let's say, $5, I would die a happy man. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. But it's a great number. And then here, this is one where I'm really excited. I'm actually excited to make like a little bit of an announcement. So the Genki Shadowcast for Nintendo Switch. I did this on January 9th, people, and it's still... I need to close these tabs before I start lagging everything. All right. And it's still popular. Like, this video... It still just keeps trickling up. It's gained me 10 subscribers. But what, more importantly, I think this video did, was I actually got an email this past week from another electronic manufacturer who's making a Nintendo Switch accessory that will essentially get rid of your Nintendo Switch dock or something. I think it's kind of similar to what this does. I'm not sure. But they reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to do a Kickstarter review for us? And that is a big opportunity for my channel, because one of the things that I've been trying to do is kind of cross-branding and start doing things in the tech sector. Because if I can... That tech sector is hundreds of millions of people. Like, so if I start doing some of these more Kickstarter techie stuff in addition to the board gamey stuff, that's when I'm really going to start gaining some huge subscribers from the tech sector, and we're going to start normalizing board games. That's what it does. Oh, I'm subscribed to this guy mostly for tech, but he does stuff with board games as well. And they actually does a lot of stuff with board games. Like, that's a conversation that could potentially be happening somewhere, you know? And it's like, yeah, he's a little bit off the wall. He's a little bit ADHD, but he's interesting. And you know, and all of a sudden, board games getting a little bit more normalized. Oh my gosh, what are we doing? So here we go. Then we got Stellaris Infinite Legacy, the Kickstarter critique, which I did give it a 1. So if you're going to call me a sham, which we will get to up here, in my defense, I gave it a 1. I said, I need to see a gameplay video before I could really recommend the whale on this. But this video, and this is probably what a lot of people are wondering about, so it launched March 12th, and this is one of my biggest videos that I've had in quite a while, like, boom, period. So at one point, this is the Kickstarter critique, and I gained 16 subscribers on that Kickstarter critique, $8.60. That's spectacular. And as you can see, it's pretty much dead now. Like, it's just trickle, trickle, trickle. But 16 subscribers for just a routine video that I do nearly every day, sorry for the slap. That's why I love that Kickstarter critique. You know, I always said that when I post a video, it's like scratching off a lottery ticket. And that was my old attitude. I was like, oh, I'll post this review. Hopefully it gets popular. Scratch the lottery ticket. Who knows? Maybe the internet. And what happened, and the reason partially why I got into this mindset, was my biggest video ever is Cut the Rope. Cut the Rope. And for whatever reason, on 420, about 7 or 8 years ago, it got shared somewhere, and it went absolutely gaga crazy insane. I think maybe the people who did Cut the Rope shared it, but it was a bizarre video. Like, I was dressed like a homeless guy, I messed up the first take and we had to reshoot it, and I forgot to edit it out. It's a terrible video, but I had like this idea in my mind that, oh, you know, these videos, they just naturally rocket ship themselves, somebody shares them or something. And no, that's not how any of this works. So now I do a lot more on the behind the scenes stuff, but just these Kickstarter critiques are scratching lottery tickets. They really are. And that's why I love them so much. And then we'll get to the big video. And then I do want to break down some more other things as well. So once again, anybody interested in the chat, let me know with any questions. Open link in the new tab. What do we got going on here? So this was the most popular one. And this actually made me make a decision on Bauer's Game Corner, which is I'm never going to do another video for a game I haven't played. And it's just, this is the first time I've ever done this, you know, except for like interviews. Interviews are different. And honestly, when they reached out to me, they said, hey, we want you to be free. We're going to get you on Tabletop Simulator. And I was like, cool, I can do this. I can play a game of it. Me and Adam will play a game of it. Like, we did this whole dog and pony where I was like, my buddy Adam wasn't sure his computer would run Tabletop Simulator, so he had to, like, make sure it did it. And they're like, we get there, and it's like, oh, you're not going to play it. You're just going to see how a couple hands go. But then the couple hands didn't actually happen, because what happened was they got into, like, a really, really, really long explanation of just everything about the game. It was an hour and a half, and they just regurgitated everything on us pretty much. I think they only went through like 2 hands of it. So it wasn't the best way to present it in hindsight, but it was just, there was just so much to take in. And I, you know, being a reviewer myself, I understand how difficult it can be to present a game sometimes. So I'm not criticizing that aspect, but it told me that no, I need to be able to play the game, either in physical or digital form before I do another preview video. Because originally I was hoping to do that. And this video is not one I'm particularly proud of. I'm really not, because it's just, I'm jumping all over from place to place to place to place to place. And normally playing that game is what keeps me centered, you know, because the ADHD jumps around. And this is not a video I'm proud of, but 20 subscribers, that's great. Like, that's spectacular to me, because they're seeing me at my worst, and boom, baby, everything else are like, wow, maybe this guy doesn't suck so hard. I don't know. But it was not a video I was pleased with. Hopefully they just like the chemistry between me and Adam or something. I don't know. But it still made me $15. And also, this was really cool, too, because when Academy Games reached out to me, they said, hey, we'll give you a special Kickstarter link. People click on this, you'll get a certain percentage in the back end, which a couple companies have done before, so that was really cool. So hopefully people clicked on it because of that video, because I know my video was like the first video on there for a while, which I don't know. I didn't think that was a great choice, but from a me perspective, it was awesome. So let's go look into some more of these analytics. Now, we looked at the Big 10, but let's take a look at what else was popular once we get past there. Because the 20 to 50 range, I think, is much more telling. I could have predicted most of these would be in the top 10, because I know I see them routinely doing well every single day. But let's see. Zombicide, Undead or Alive, Kickstarter Teak, excellent. Oh, and I can start arranging things by here. So this is what's fun about the YouTubes. Let's see, I will get us a new bar, and we'll see which videos gained me the most subscribers over the last month, which videos lost me the most subscribers over the last month. I always find it interesting when there's like one that has like 3 or 4, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll take that one on the chin. So let's see, subscribers lost, and this is just for March. So let's go with subscribers lost. I lost 108. Happens. High Noon Kickstarter Critique. Interesting. Okay. I don't know why, that one in particular, because I thought that was a pretty well done one. In fact, the guy actually, the designer of the game, reached out to me and said, hey, that was really refreshing. We enjoyed it. We used some of it. And they had me on his blog that he did. And then he sent me a copy of the game, because it was actually, just a pre-order. So, but yeah, people did not like that one. Then we have Batman The Dark Knight Rises. So I'm seeing him being lost. Oh, so here you go. This is what you're seeing. So I'm getting some of these subscribers from the tech sector, it looks like. But then when they see like, oh, he does all this board game crap, they're like, I'm out. Which, hey, that's fine. The board game crap is going to keep going no matter what. Like, the board game crap is my obsession. You know, the tech stuff, like, that's nice. Like, yeah, I want to get in the tech sector so I can start gaining subscribers and gaining fans and gaining an audience. And, you know, low-key, not gonna lie, start gaining items that are much easier to sell. Like, if I get this Nintendo Switch accessory and it's really cool, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't think I'd ever use it, I can easily turn around and sell that sort of thing. Whereas selling board games, it's just, it is not the easiest. I would kill Hitler the party game. Once again, they enjoyed this, so subscribers lost. Okay. Stellaris Infinite Legacy Kickstarter Critique. But let's also look at these at another perspective and say, the Kickstarter Critique lost me 2, but it gained me 18. I would kill Hitler, lost me 2, gained me 1. So there's give and take. And with the High Noon, I gained 4. So let's see what my most popular videos were subscribers gained, though. 21, on the Kickstarter preview. Makes sense. 18 on the Kickstarter critique. So that's great. That's 39 new subscribers who came here last month because they wanted to talk about board games. That's awesome. That's what I love to see. 5 new ones for the UVC Smart Bottle. And this one, this is so surprising to me because look, February 10th, this was not a new video. This was not a hot video in March. I'm pretty sure the Kickstarter was nearly over, but it still gave me 5 subscribers. And then here we go. Neil Patrick Harris with 5. Genki Shadowcast with 4. Bluffing Your Dice Game. Skip the Rules. And that's another market that I'm trying to get into. You know, I put out, say, 2, 3 of these Skip the Rules videos every single month. And these Skip the Rules videos, these are just print and gold. If you're the first person to get yours up and you do a good, competent job and you tag it and you do your different things, like these, let's see if I can open this in a new tab. See how this did in the month of March. But these videos like this, they're just consistent money as long as the game's popular. So this is maybe $8.93. I think this was like a $15 game. This game is going to pay for itself before the end of the year, most likely. Especially with Easter coming up. Yeah, with Easter coming up, I bet this is going to be in a lot of stockings. It's a perfectly small box, $15, Target exclusive style game. Plus, it's gaining me 6 subscribers. Maybe they're sticking around for the family games. Maybe they're sticking around for the children's games. Maybe they're now saying, oh, well, there's grown-up games I can get as well. Who knows? But they're coming. Normalizing board games. Love it. Seeker's Guide to the Twisted Taverns. Now, these ones are interesting. When I do these big RPG Kickstarter critiques, I always notice that I can gain some good subscribers. And this one, once again, I did on February 10th. Despite the fact it was older. It was a month old. And then we have the Prep Chef Skillet Kickstarter critique. Now, one thing that I'm noticing that I'm a little bit disappointed about, and I'll be always honest in this segment, is my Before You Back segment is not picking up the way that I had hoped it would pick up. So I've been doing, and I'm really kind of, oh, this is subscribers gain, though. I want to take a look at views. We're going back to views now to see what the most popular ones were. So let's take a look at honest. So this was a Kickstarter critique. This was a really interesting one as well. He has a really popular YouTube channel. I did one for his movie, and he ended up taking quite a few of the ideas that I gave him. And this one, I actually, you know what? I'm going to take the time. I'm going to toot my horn a little bit and give you some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, because that's what this segment is all about. So this guy took 2 of the big ideas that I gave him, and he was looking like he was not going to fund. Like, it was trending towards potentially not happening. He actually took quite a few of the ideas that he really took them to heart, because this was a $500,000 Kickstarter one. Yeah. So, oh no, why did it, no, give me back to Onyx the Fortuitous. By the way, if you haven't checked out his channel, he's pretty funny. He does, and you might actually recognize him. So, he was not trained to get to 500, he got to 610, and let's see, where was the $20, yes, so the digital screener link, which got backed by 434, so that's $8,000 right there, and then the $60 the Blu-ray one. No, the Blu-ray one, yeah. So they didn't have those pledge levels at all, and so that's 329 times $50. But that's also a lot of backers as well. Because the big thing that I noticed was there was just no pledge level to get the movie. And it's like, this is a movie, dude. Like, why is there not a pledge level to get your movie? It was like a tiered system where it was just like all Onyx love. It was like, this one you get a signed picture. This one you get a signed picture with like a personal email. This one you get like a sticker with my picture. And it was just like great. You have your fans, you have your base, that's spectacular, but also take care of the people that are just here to watch the damn movie. And they did, and you know, that's awesome. I love seeing that. I love seeing that success. Bird Buddy, the Smart Bird Feeder, once again, posted this on January 10th. Still getting popular. Seeker's Guide to the Twisted Taverns. So, as you can see, back end on these Kickstarter critiques, they have a good life scale. These Kickstarter critiques, especially for the popular stuff, they last for a while. Now, I imagine once these projects start coming out, these videos are going to start dying. Unless they're really bad. Like, I'm really interested to see how the Kickstarter critique life scale works. Because if the game just ends up being a giant flop and it's terrible and it's god-awful and it's garbage, like, which I hope doesn't happen, or a product does, I wonder if people are going to click back to these and be like, oh yeah, like, he kind of noticed these red flags. Because what I can also do, and this, somebody might say this is rubbing salt in the wound, but it's also smart marketing, is I could say, you know, I hate to say I told you so, but I potentially warned you that there might be some issues with X, Y, and Z in my Kickstarter critique of this. I do the segment every, you know, maybe I go that route. Because I'll be brutally honest with you, once again, I'm a little bit disappointed that I have not seen an episode of Before You Back. That's that new series I do, where essentially when I do a Kickstarter critique and I find, like, big glaring red flags, I kind of do another segment where I like honk the horn and say, hey, everybody, watch out, this is potentially a Titanic hitting the iceberg. And those videos I'm really interested to see, because what I think is going to happen eventually is one of those is just going to bomb. It's not going to ship. It's not going to fund. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be completely broken. People are going to be pissed. And then maybe those people who are really mad come over and they say, oh, before you're back, we should look at there. I should subscribe to this YouTube channel. And once again, they're like, oh, he does board game stuff too. Like, normalize it. Normalize it. And so I'm really disappointed those have not gotten as popular. But I'm hoping that maybe later on in the back end they'll get there. So what is it? The Illuminati 2nd edition. I do not know why. This just consistently... This game right here, I really need to put a fancy thumbnail on this, because it just keeps getting clicked. You know what? I'm going to put a fancy thumbnail on this later this weekend, because I've been neglecting. Look at this. Look at this. The last 28 days, it got me 76 cents. An interview I did in 2018. In August of 2018, I did this interview on this Steve Jackson game card game. And let's look at the lifetime on this. It's stupid. 8,800 views. It's 16 subscribers. And that's also why I love doing the Gen Con Bonanzas. And look, the numbers are going up. They're trending upward. Yes. Look at that. Wow. That's a trend. That's a trend. I promise you trends. That's a trend that I need to pay attention to. I need to get this tagged up. Do I even have it tagged up? Oh, don't tell me I don't even have this tagged up. I probably have it tagged up. Okay, I got it tagged up. So whenever you type in any of that stuff, I'm number 2. Awesome. But I need to get a thumbnail. Got to get on the thumbnail. See that. Do that. We'll do that. All right, but let's keep going. We got The Root, Kickstarter Critique. No shocker there. Yeah, me and my wife played one for a Kickstarter, so that one's pretty popular as well. Aeon's End, Game of Life Trouble. Once again, that was part of the mass market experience. A colossal failure. That game really did suck. High Noon, Kickstarter Critique. Board game looking good. Man, I'm just so there we go. Before you back the Pref Chef Skillet, 0 subscribers gamed, 0 subscribers lost, 270 views though. So interested to see what the life skill are those are. And maybe here's the thing. Maybe I just don't know how to promote it yet. Because what I do is I get on Facebook, and I have joined hundreds of Facebook groups. And I try to share my stuff to the groups that I feel would be applicable. But a lot of those groups just feel like people just kind of screaming into the void. People doing exactly what I'm doing. Which, it works. I will say, it does work from time to time. But it's just not returning that investment the way I want it to. So I got to try and figure out a different way to share these, potentially. I don't know. So we got Trigger Point Rocker, and yeah, so we got a lot of Kickstarter critiques, it looks like, right here. But mixed in with the skip the rules and everything like that. But there you go. That has pretty much been my month of March. Let's back it on up. Very, very pleased with the month. Let's check last 48 hours, see if there's anything new and buzzing here. Some blue bonus content. So this is a cool segment because they say, all right, last 48 hours, Rise of the Gnome Kickstarter critique. And I know that one was popping yesterday. I had 10 people in the comments, the stream section. That's so much fun because it's like, oh, you forgot to mention this or this or this, and they have extra information. It's just so great. And I'm loving streaming. I'm absolutely adoring streaming. Like, I think this segment is now going to be something that I do. Because right now I gave this like 5 minutes notice, but I'm going to give it like a week notice and break down this stuff because hopefully I'll have questions because I don't know what people find interesting. Boogeyman, Genki Shadowcast. Okay, here we go. Before you back, the WoW Stick, the Metal One Piece. So this was another one. Let's see if that one gained many subscribers. The Wind Catcher, the Illuminati second freaking edition. 2 people watched that in the last hour. Why? I don't know, but I need to get a good thumbnail on it. Because look, I don't even do it. So lots of that. Game of Life, skip the rules. And that's one thing I do want to mention is that, 5 Facts, Jimmy's Chicken Shack, my April Fool's one. And then, ooh, there we go. Those are nice and consistent. Those are just going to keep chugging along. Those skip the rules right there. And then this is what I love seeing right here. Stream is fun when I catch it. Even unintentional streaming is fun. This right here is what I'm talking about. Like, these used to be, like, these would normally be 3 of my top 10 at this time last year. Old party game review that not many people have reviewed because it's not suitable for work. Sorry, because I just happened to be lucky enough to get one of the first ones with the Fire and Ice expansion on it, so it's just like a mass market hit. And then, a family game that's available at Target. Those used to be my top 10 to 20. But now, because of me doing these Kickstarter critiques, I'm starting to get much more opportunities. And that's another thing. I'm going to wrap it up on this. The Kickstarter critiques are amazing opportunities for the channel because I've had so many people reach out to me and say, hey, we're totally going to throw you a game at the back end. We really appreciate what you did. Like, and that's one thing. Like, I always worry that I sound like kind of jerkish when I do them, but people really, for the most part, I've had a couple where they're like, I didn't really like this. But for the most part, I would say 95% really enjoying him. And I am going to dip one more. I'm debuting a new segment some point this weekend. I don't know how it's going to go, called Kickstarter Slummin', where what I did was I looked at the 6 least popular tabletop games projects, and then I just kind of glanced at each one for like 2 or 3 minutes to try and pinpoint why I thought they were being held back. Like, what was their Achilles heel, so to speak. It's a really interesting segment. It's about games that are wildly unpopular, which is like the cardinal sin of making content. It's like, why are you covering the 6 least popular things? And it's because, oh, this is another thing. You know, this is a blog right now. I got a Zoom meeting with somebody next week who works for a company that specifically does Kickstarter videos. Like, they only do Kickstarter videos. And they said, and it was somebody just emailed me. They were like, hey, I was watching your videos. So I was actually super nervous because they didn't do the rest of the project. They did just the video. And they're like, I'd love to have a talk with you potentially next week. Maybe we could even talk about potentially recommending you to our clients. And it's like, whoa, business contacts. That feels like that's how you're supposed to grown up, right? Business contacts are grown up stuff. So that was very exciting for me as well. And that's all opening up because of these Kickstarter critiques, which have allowed me to kind of expand the cocoon. That's not the right expression. Of Bowers Game Corner. But let's see. Anything else down here that looks particularly amazing? Doomling's the card game. Okay, I want to talk about this. This is the last thing I will talk about. I don't know what the hell is the deal with this game. I don't understand why this game is so popular. I am very skeptical about this game. It has raised so much money. It's a really generic card game. It just boggles my mind. So if you know why Doomlings is so popular, that's the question. Let me know in the comments below, because I just don't get it. But sometimes I just don't get stuff. But as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. And, oh, which one of these do I need to close? There's so many. There we go. Bye-bye.